You ever notice how some mangas just hit different? Like it's not just about the fights or the powers, it's about watching a world come together. Watching the MC go from a nobody to somebody who literally builds a kingdom from scratch. That's a whole genre in itself. If you've ever binged any of these stories, you already know how addicting it can be. So today, we're diving into some of my picks for kingdom building mangas and world building mangas. Stories where the MC isn't just trying to survive, they're building something bigger, a nation, a civilization, a legacy. Okay, let's get into it. Now, I'm sure you guys already know this one because it's already in its anime form. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Let's start with the basics. When Rimuru got reincarnated as a slime, you think it'd just be another power fantasy. But then he starts gathering monsters, taming dragons, negotiating with humans, and next thing you know, he's founding the Jura Tempest Federation, a legit multi-race nation. What makes this one stand out is how real it feels. There are diplomatic summits, trade negotiations, and even legal reforms. Rimuru doesn't just win fights, he earns loyalty, creates alliances, and turns chaos into structure. Plus, you get to see how a society grows over time through economy, defense, education, and even international politics. Number two, Dr. Stone. This one flips the script completely. No magic, no reincarnation, just pure science. Senku wakes up thousands of years after humanity turned into stone, and with zero resources, decides to restart civilization from the ground up. And he means it. He builds farming, electricity, medicine, communication systems step by step. Every arc in Dr. Stone feels like unlocking a new branch of the tech tree. The manga takes time to explain each invention, why it matters, and how it impacts society. It's a world building masterclass, but with the test tubes and physics instead of swords. Number three, farming life in another world. Sometimes kingdom building doesn't need war or politics. This manga is exactly what that title says. Guy gets reincarnated and is given the power to farm. That's it. But somehow, that one skill leads to a massive, peaceful village filled with elves, angels, dwarves, you name it. What starts as one guy building a hut turns into an entire community. He's not trying to conquer or rule, he just wants a peaceful life. But people naturally gather around competence, and that's what this story explores. It's relaxing, it's slow, and it's full of build your own paradise vibes. 4. The King of Cave will live a paradise life. Alright, now imagine if your ideal life was just building your own cave mansion. After being kicked out of his family estate, the MC stumbles into a dungeon and thinks, screw it, I'll just live here. But instead of struggling, he ends up building a literal underground utopia. He's got monster girls, a self sustaining base, magical infrastructure, and all the freedom he never had in the outside world. Think of it like Minecraft meets fantasy slice of life, with a little harem twist thrown in. What makes it fun is that it's all about personalized world building. Instead of ruling a kingdom, he creates his own hidden one, his rules, his pace. Chronicles of Hardship of Komachi in the Sengoku era. This one's not fantasy, it's grounded, historical, and super underrated. A modern day woman ends up in Japan's war torn Sengoku era, but instead of swinging swords, she applies knowledge from her time to survive. She introduces new farming techniques, cooking methods, even teaches people basic hygiene. What starts as a survival becomes full blown societal reform. Lords start listening to her advice, and villagers transform under her influence. It's slow, detailed, and feels incredibly real. You're not watching an empire rise through war, you're watching it evolve through wisdom. Fushi Noami, rebuilding civilization starts with a village. If you like the idea of rebuilding from ruins, this is one of the best. The world has regressed into superstition and stagnation. No one reads, cities have collapsed, and most people just survive. But our MC, he dreams bigger. He wants to bring back knowledge, rebuild cities, and restart civilization. He starts small, cleaning up a village, organizing, learning, solving basic infrastructure problems. But over time, it spreads. People notice. The world begins to wake up again. This manga shines in how it explores the powers of ideas. It's not flashy, but it's inspiring. The Ideal Sponger Life. This one's a mix of politics, romance, and strategic marriage. A regular guy gets isekai'd and is immediately married off to a queen. From there, he's expected to run the kingdom, and he does, but not with swords or magic, with modern common sense. He reorganizes supply chains, redesigns cities, introduces bathhouses. It's all about applying real world solutions to fantasy problems. And through all this, he becomes a respected leader, not because he's strong, but because he listens, plans, and understands people. It's calm, cleanly structured, and really satisfying if you like soft world building. How a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Okay, here's the heavy hitter. The entire plot revolves around logistics, and somehow it's still fire. The MC gets summoned as a hero. He ends up as a king, and his idea of saving the kingdom isn't defeating the demon lord, it's overhauling the economy, agriculture, military, and bureaucracy. You get detailed breakdowns of how food shortages happen, how reform affects the population, how to restructure a government. 9. Apocalypse Bringer Monohagara. World conquest begins with civilization of ruin. Let's switch it up. This time, you're not building a utopia, you're building a dark, decaying, Lovecraftian empire. The MC wakes up in a game like world as the god of destruction. His nation thrives on corruption and madness, and it is done in a way that's actually engaging. This is basically Nation Building 101 Fantasy Edition. He still has to manage it: economy, defense, diplomacy, with other countries terrified of what he's planning. It's a brilliant subversion of kingdom building genre because even though you're playing the villain, you're still using the same tools, strategy, governance, and diplomacy to build something powerful. It's dark, it's weird, and it works. The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. And finally, this one's clever, sarcastic, and low key brilliant. The prince just wants to sell his broke kingdom and retire. But every time he tries to slack off, he accidentally makes things better. His reforms work, his schemes succeed, and he starts getting real power, even though he's trying to avoid it. It's full of political backstabbing, hilarious internal monologues, and surprisingly, deep kingdom management ideas. If you want something that blends humor, world building, and smart strategy, this one's a gem. So, yeah, kingdom building mangas might not be the flashiest genre out there, but when it's done right, it's one of the most satisfying. It's about vision, taking nothing and creating something great. Whether it's a hidden paradise in a cave or a kingdom rising from the ashes, all these mangas show the real power isn't just about strength, it's about building a world worth protecting. Let me know in the comments, did I miss any of your favorites? Or maybe I just helped you find your next obsession. Either way, hit the like button, sub if you're into chill anime and manga content, and I'll catch you on the next one.